For this week's session, I actually lost all of the footage outside of the bowl. So unfortunately, the only footage we're going to have is from within the bowl. Now starting out, we actually met this great group of guys from Long Beach who had traveled all the way up to Northport. This is Mark, and as you can see, he is no beginner. He was absolutely flying around the bowl. One of the things I noticed is he goes incredibly high on these walls, and he pumps everything. The sheer velocity he was carrying as he pumped around this bowl was really impressive. And Mark was there with 3 of his buddies, Alex, John, and Steve. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of Alex and only a few seconds of John. Luckily, I did catch Steve's second roll-in on a bowl ever. I actually wasn't filming when the first one happened. And not to discourage anybody, but he actually told me he had only been skating about 6 months at this point. And his ability to pump the transitions is really shocking for somebody with such little experience. What I will say is he lives right by the Long Beach skate park, and from what I understand, they meet weekly, multiple times, to skate together. And on top of this, they do like to travel to different parks. But what I really liked about them as a group was they were not judgmental at all. They were fully supportive of everybody that they saw. In fact, there was one instance where Alex was snaked by 2 young kids who went into the bowl right as he was about to drop in and just started skating around and playing around. And his reaction was something to the effect of, well, you got to nurture the next generation of skaters. And bringing it back to Steve, note how much faster and higher he is going through the transitions at this point. Really very impressive. And be ready, John's footage is about to come up. And there it is. And next up is Tristan, doing what Tristan does best, kicking ass. And closing out with myself, I decided I wanted to learn backside ollies in the bowl. And this period was during a time when a young child actually came into the bowl to work on riding around the back wall. I took the opportunity to work on backside ollies in the hopes of one day being able to ollie over the hip. And while I made progress, I still need a lot of work. And moving on to carving, one of the things that Tristan had kept saying to me was that I needed to bend my knees more. And while I thought I was doing it, I actually realized what he was talking about. So if you look at some older clips of me, you'll see that as I approach the peak of the back bowl, my legs are usually almost entirely straight, and they remain that way as I come around. And having my legs straight like that, if I started to lose a little bit of traction, I had nowhere to go. I couldn't push into the ramp to gain more traction or even to pump out because my legs were already straight. And another side effect of this is, while I'm at the top, I end up needing to make a small kick turn, as I have no room left for extension if I start to lose traction. In this one, I'm starting to be able to stick to the transition a lot more, while also being able to pump out. And so while these next few, I'm actually a lot lower on the transition, I'm actually focusing really on just keeping my knees bent and trying to stay stuck to that wall. And what I found is, as I'm able to stick to the wall a lot more, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable and I'm able to push and gain more speed as I come out of this back section. Also note how this also gives me the ability to come much further on the left-hand side. And this puts me at a much better angle to hit this right wall as I'm entering this last corner. And as I get more comfortable with bending my knees and sticking to the transition, I'm able to kind of modify my lines to see what works best for me. And as usual, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you out there skating sometime.